Hi and welcome to Add More Zest, and my name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids147. Happy 9th of December, everybody. It is day 9, so let's start with Advent. It rattles today's Advent. So for today, we have some clear rhinestones in round. These are really nice to add for an extra little sparkle in your round photos. So round diamond painting, sorry. So for example, if you were doing this, you could just add one every now and then around the edge to give it an extra little bit of sparkle, or on another painting you could do it to add, you know, maybe highlight some little features and mix your rhinestones with your diamonds. So that is day 9. Let me bob those away. For today, I am using a pen that was gifted to me, made by, I think, by Lisa. And I'm actually using a zesty tray today. This one was from last year's Advent. So some people got this one in last year's Advent. It's like a pinky, purpley / blue. More pinky. It's got a hint of purple, but maybe that's because it's got the pink and sort of the purpley blue. So that is today's. Let's uncover number 9. Oh, not as much variety on this one today, but let's get some white. I'm starting using up the tubs that I have of white first before going on to the one that has stickers on. But I do want to say thank you so much to everyone that purchased from launch last night. I am filming this on the day. I was going to film this video last night prior to launch, because we always seem to be on edge prior to launch and sort of active and not fully switched off. But then I realised that I like to, you know, take the opportunity to thank you for launch, maybe mention anything that potentially has come up, and I can't do that if I film it beforehand. So I did a little bit more of my Diamond Art Studio Advent instead while waiting. But yeah, launch went really well, went without any hitches that we can find. There are still some of the trays, etc. left, because we have increased production over the last few launches that we've done. We seem to have got to a nice enough number to sort of definitely meet the, of course, initial demand, but then also be able to still have stock for those that may have forgotten, rather than everything disappearing super quick. So yeah, we seem to have hit the magic number. But yeah, me and Megan are going to be having a day preparing today, making sure that we have the stock prepared for the numbers that have been ordered. Trays are already pre-printed, mainly things like cover paper, any other things that have been purchased with items, logbooks, things like that. Just making sure that all the numbers are right, so that come Monday I can start packing and get orders out as quick as possible. So yeah, that's all good and fine and dandy, which is amazing. I am going to try and get a couple more videos filmed this weekend as well. I've got one coming out on my second channel, which is Add More Zest with Diamonds. It is linked in the description below, but I do have an unboxing with a giveaway company has offered a higher discount code and a giveaway for December, so I'll be filming that one, which should hopefully go up either this weekend or the beginning of next week. I also want to frame or pop in my magnetic hanger White Christmas. I want to get that one filmed and framed so that I can get it up, of course, for Christmas on the wall. But that video will probably be between Christmas and New Year, and I'll pop it up on this channel around then. I do have quite a few other de-kittings and some kitting ups and things that I want to do, but that might not be this weekend. But if I can get those two done, then I can get White Christmas up, and of course I can let you guys know about another giveaway on top of our giveaway. So yeah, right, comments, etc., because I do have loads. I'm on comments from the 4th of December, but yeah, I don't seem to be catching up to them super quick, so maybe we'll have some long WIP and waffles in the new year as well, just to catch up. But Diamond Painting Addict, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, another great WIP and waffle. She says, you're starting to sound a bit better. Thank you. She says she loved the bauble cross stitch kit that was in the advent calendar for day 4. When everybody's commenting on which cross stitch kit they got, it keeps reminding me of all the different ones that were in there. There was some absolutely gorgeous little mini kits, and there was many that I could have just sat there and done, because there was such a variety in those. It's probably the most variety of any of the items, was those kits. Giles says it's turning out beautifully, and he said great idea to have a cross stitch in the advent. Are you doing the cross stitch then, Giles? Are you going to give that a go? I know you've dabbled in diamond painting in the past, so I wonder if he's going to dabble in a bit of cross stitch as well. Maybe, maybe not. I did have something pop into my head then as well that I wanted. Oh, that was it. So I spoke to my mum and dad this morning. I think I mentioned in another WIP and Waffle that they had framed White Christmas. They actually got 2 wooden dowels and stapled the top part of the White Christmas canvas to the dowel. And then used double-sided tape across the dowel to be able to roll the canvas to the point where it showed the diamonds and didn't show the rest, to the point where they were happy, and then hung that. They actually hung it up on a couple of cup hooks, so it can be hung up and taken down. Well, they gave us a ring this morning because they have put up the Heaven and Earth design, massive project, which my mum did in a lot shorter time than me. They have actually put that up as well using exactly the same method. So of course a shorter dowel at the top and the bottom, but it's worked really well because the wall that they've put the Heaven and Earth design on is quite a thin, skinny wall. It doesn't have sort of through traffic, so the fact that it is just attached at the top and the weight of the dowel at the bottom is what's keeping it straight is perfectly fine. It's, you know, works wonderful. But they also have like an old TV antenna and a blank electrical switch behind there, and the dowel actually makes the diamond painting hang just a little bit away from the wall, which means those things can just sit there and be hidden. So it looked really, really good. So if you were ever wondering how to potentially hang up a very huge heaven and earth design project, then that is an option, is to use wooden dowels. And it's not an expensive option either. Getting it framed would be. Kira said she will be getting her first advent calendar from me next year. She said she is definitely feeling the fear of missing out, but she is enjoying having me diamond paint with her. Having me diamond paint with her is fantastic and has been wonderful. She said happy holidays to everyone and their families. Thank you. Advent calendars can be hard. I do understand, you know, some people have been, you know, wary. Do I, don't I? The whole question, am I going to miss out? Is it going to be worth it? All that sort of stuff. So hopefully being able to see everything that everybody gets in theirs this year will help reassure people. I know some companies do fully list what is in an advent calendar. I do personally feel like that sort of spoils the surprise. If you know what's in there, even if it's just a general description. But do be assured, we do try to ensure that they are a really good value. So even if, you know, everything in there isn't your, I suppose, main love, that you still get at a minimum the sort of value that you've spent in goodies that you can use and make use of. Anything we're unsure of tends to be a lower value item, that's for sure, to make sure that the value is still definitely there. Claire, she says she heard me saying that we lived in Warrington and not far from IKEA. She says she lives on the Wirral and that's her nearest branch. Yes, that'll be the one. I love that IKEA. She said it takes ages to get there though, so she doesn't go very often. Yeah, well, I mean, we are 10 minutes from it, which is not too bad. But I mean, even on the Wirral, you're fairly local, like local-ish, more local than many others. If you can make it an evening trip, all the better. It can be crazy around Christmas time no matter when you go, but if you think of it as an evening trip rather than a Saturday day trip, you will probably find things are a lot nicer. We often don't go till 7, 8 o'clock at night. It shuts at 10. And that is definitely the best time. I think I went once at about 8:30 to do a return of something, and there was nobody in there. It was absolutely fantastic. I got to return and then I got to go buy what I needed as a replacement because one thing was faulty, and I was in and out super duper quick. My kind of IKEA. She says she'd love watching the advent calendar take shape and all the unwrapping of the little extras. She says she wishes she'd ordered one now. Yeah, that is the thing. I can understand it's a high purchase, so I completely understand people's apprehension in relation to whether it will be good value or not. But as I say, that is something that we strive to ensure that it is exciting and that it does turn all us grown adults, frankly, into kids. That is our main aim behind the Advent each year. And say, we're already planning next year because we're that bad. Right, I'm just going to tip in some more white. I'm on a fresh pot, so I wanted to make sure that I used everything out of the other pot before I went to a fresh one. Cheryl, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's glad to hear that I'm starting to feel better. She says she does have a question about my progress on the Diamond Art Club mystery painting. She says she's curious if I'm planning to do a post review or some other update to give my thoughts on the painting once it's finished. She said it was the first mystery kit she's ever completed, and she does know that it was mine as well. She says just wondering if our thoughts align on the subject. Yeah, so it's the first ever mystery I've done from Diamond Art Club. It is still a work in progress. My thought is what I'll do is when I de-kit the mystery project, I will discuss during the de-kitting my thoughts on the canvas, my thoughts on working with it, which at the moment have all been good, to be fair. I am really enjoying the process. And then at the end of that video, I will give a disclaimer, and then I will show you guys the completed canvas. So if anybody has it in their stash, doesn't want to see it, they still get to hear all my thoughts on it without revealing anything, you know, that can affect somebody else's experience. And then I will give the disclaimer before actually doing it, before actually showing it, and then they can turn the video off if they don't want to see it. So yes, I do plan on doing that. It's just, it is my sort of slow burning project. It is going a bit slower than some of the others because I do a smaller section. I am sort of dragging out the process on purpose. At the moment, my focus for December, so for November I focused on White Christmas and getting that finished. At the moment my focus seems to have shifted. Of course I'm completing this painting with the WIP and Waffle, but I also want to complete the Diamond Art Studio Advent this side of Christmas. Like ideally I don't want it to go into January. So last night I actually did 3 sections, I think. I did push it on the 3rd, to be fair. I probably should have stopped at 2. It's the 9th today, and yesterday on the 8th I actually completed the 10th, which I know is not the way that most people are doing it. However, some evenings it is tricky for me to get in both this video and the editing and a section of that. So I'm not paying attention to what date it is. I am just doing a section as and when I can, so that I can finish it this side of Christmas, which is my personal preference. And then I'm going to pick up some of my other paintings, so closer to Christmas, when that one's finished, if I get there, I'm then going to switch to doing either, I've got, what have I still got on the go? Purple Tiger, my 30 by 40. I've got Diamond Art Studio Field of Memories and my mystery painting. That are sort of my 3 go-to. So the closer it gets to Christmas, the more I can sit on the couch and diamond paint. And I'm going to let the app decide and try and do some of those. I may switch my focus to focus on one of them to get them finished. I'm not sure. Because yeah, I do enjoy having quite a few kitted up, but then I do get to a point after a month or so where I'm like, okay, I need to finish one or more of these. So who knows? I keep sticking others in the mix. So I stuck White Christmas in and I've finished that. And now I'm sticking the Diamond Art Studio one in until I finish that. So it may be that I decide to focus on one or the other of these and get them finished at some point. We shall see. A lot will probably depend on mood, and I may vary it up a bit. I may focus for a few days and then do something different. Tammy says, happy holidays to everyone. She says, Rebecca, she says, thank you for keeping me company as she cooks dinner and tidies up after work. She said, we have our tree up also. She says, but because we love to decorate as a family, it won't be completed until Saturday. She said, such a busy time of year. She says, as always, thank you. It is. And do you know what? Not actually putting up my tree, but with the lights and not decorating it for a few days before I got the decorations on, actually didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. Normally, I am somebody who decorates sort of all at once. It's an all or nothing kind of thing. So I would get the decorations out, get everything up, get everything away, and that was the job. It's actually not bothered me that much because I think I made sure I got the lights on, so it still looked pretty. But yeah, I've not been as bothered that it's been a little bit slower. Maybe it's just because there's not been as many kids about either. And I've not had the hand to do it all. Because everybody's been busy. So, busy or not in the house. One or the other. Sherry says, peanut butter and jelly is brilliant. She says, but if you want a taste treat, she says you have to try peanut butter, marshmallow fluff, and bananas. That actually sounds that sounds tastier than peanut butter and jelly to me. Leanne says, a large tray would be nice for a giveaway. She says, honestly, anything from your shop would be awesome. She says, thank you so much for the giveaway. Yeah, I think I'll give a couple of options because I know, of course, a lot of people that watch this channel or that have entered the giveaway have shopped at some point or other in our shop. So therefore, you know, I don't want to be giving somebody a prize of something that they've already got and spend their hard-earned money on, especially if there's something else in the shop that they'd like. So I think I'll just give a few different options and let the winners of Add More Zest goodies sort of pick what they want instead from a list. Just because it's easier to monitor stock on you know, if I give a certain sort of general list, but variety enough that, say, people can choose what they fancy treating themselves to. Roz says, brilliant gift today. She said she loves a little cross stitch. She said, I've said that I diamond paint standing up. She says, please could you show me/us your setup to do that, please. She said she has a really bad back, so sitting is not great. She said standing desks are humongously expensive. She also says that she's glad that I'm sounding better. Thank you. I stand up to diamond paint when doing all my WIP and Waffles. I do actually sit down when I'm doing it in the conservatory. But if you go to my website under videos, I do have sort of craft room tour videos. You will be able to see the desk that I show that I film on. That is, excuse me, that is the one that I stand to diamond paint on when talking to you guys. I actually know it is 110 centimetres from the floor. The reason I know that is this desk is the space that I used to, of course, pack orders from, etc. And even when packing hundreds of launch orders from this desk, it didn't end up sort of affecting my back, neck, anything like that. It was the right height. So I actually measured it for us to try and find something for the new Add More Zest space. So this desk is actually attached to the wall. There is wood brackets against the wall, and then the desk sits on the top. So this one is fixed. Say I could use a bar stool if I wanted to sit at this desk, but I found the bar stool got in my way more than I benefited from sitting down. So I just stand to do all videos here, and it works perfect. And of course I stood to do orders because I was moving about anyway, so that worked perfect. We did actually get a standing sitting desk for the new Add More Zest space. We got the manual one from IKEA, which, while it is not as cheap as a normal desk, the manual one was sturdier than the electric one. Plus it's in the middle of the room, so I don't want wires trailing everywhere. And that's been perfect because we've been able to set it to pretty much the same height as this desk is, to be able to pack orders and things. And yeah, it's worked absolutely perfect. So I'd say if you want something that's standing, if you're happy for it to be always standing, then you want some sort of bracket that you can affix to the likes of a back wall, and maybe get some adjustable legs potentially for the front. Or adjust it, attach it on more walls so that it can be sturdy on its own. For this desk, it's actually attached on 3 walls, so it is extremely sturdy and has no problems taking the weight of me leaning on it, diamond painting on it, or even when I used to pack orders on it. It can take the weight really well. Whereas if you can afford, even if it's one of the cheaper standing desks, that will give you a bit more flexibility. So maybe, you know, sitting is something you can do for a bit, but then you need to stand, and then you need to sit again. It will give you the benefit of being able to do that. Cher loves orange. She said she was so discombobulated today. Love that word. Discombobulated. She said she almost forgot to open day 4. Oh my goodness me. How many years have you survived without an advent calendar that you forget you have one? She says she also watched my video before she worked on her day 4. She said she felt so scattered. I know what you feel like if you're so used to doing things in a certain order and then all of a sudden you don't do it in said order. It can be worse than just doing it in random orders every day anyway. I love doing things in a certain order, so I completely feel your discombobulation doing things in the wrong order. She said she loves today's advent gift. She says she hasn't cross-stitched in 30 years. She said, so this should be fun. And it's small enough that it doesn't take forever, but just gives you a little bit of a past hobby. She says she's loving every day of December so far. Awesome. Kim says she thinks our group would love it if I do a whip and waffle while she does the diamond painting. She said it takes her a couple of hours to do a section. I would love to be able to dedicate a couple of hours per day to a whip and waffle. I really would. I would love to just have it be something that no matter what I'm diamond painting and where, I could just set up and film and chat. The world just doesn't work that way. But I'll be sure to squeeze in a few long ones, catching up on comments at some point in end of December, beginning of the year. She says, your speed amazes me. That's just practice. Years and years and years of practice. She says, not only are things nice and straight, she says, but you get it done in a single hour. Yeah, I say a lot of it is practice. A lot of it is little time-saving things that you may not quite realise are time-saving. Like my tray is following me around this painting, because that is then less space for the pen and the diamond to travel. Which is why you will always catch me as well turning my tray around when I get to the last of the diamonds, and you'll also catch me doing the likes of this and doing a reshake on diamonds, just to get ones closer to the edge. All those little things can help with it. She says she's had the 4th and 5th off from work, and has worked ahead since she probably won't get to them until the weekend again. She said, this is so much fun. She says she's cut hers apart from the start, and is completing a whole picture in 2 sessions. She says nice and small. She says they are taped to her light pad with washi tape. And she says hubby doles out my advent gift each day like he's responsible for choosing it, and enjoys sharing in my excitement. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet that hubby is joining in and rationing your advent gifts so that you can enjoy them. Slotter04 says, hi Rebecca, loving the advent this year. They are so much slower with their Diamond Art Studio UK one. Yes, mine takes me 1.5 hours, 2 hours per section, probably, depending on which one it is. They said they've decided it's just a labour of love. They said they do have a quick shop question. They are looking for a metal 4-placer for a friend who hasn't seemed to be able to find one. Hang on, let me just change my colour over so I can keep chatting. She said they told her to check your shop, but noticed that the 5 and 4 placers were out of stock. Will you be restocking soon? Yes, they are now restocked. I was able to get those prepped and sorted and counted and checked and all the rest of it yesterday, I think. Maybe it was the day before. I did the stock checking and stuff on one day and updated the listing, and then got them order ready in bags and labelled and all the rest of it the day after. So yes, they are now back in stock. We did order quite a lot. I think it sort of got away with me. The metal placers are normally a lot quicker at getting replacements on their way, but yeah, it sort of sneaked past the radar a little bit. but the 4 and 5 places and any others that were low are all back up to a nice stock level. She says she's convinced they are ever elusive and somebody is hoarding them. No, they are an extremely popular size. I think as well I did a few videos that I was multi-placing with White Christmas, and I'd been enjoying the 4-placer as well. So not only was it popular, I was then saying how much I enjoyed it, which did make stock disappear quicker than we thought it would. But yeah, we've got quite a decent chunk back in, and if they start to sell out quickly, then we will get another order in ASAP for some more. She also says, she said diamond painters are not hoarders, right? They're just collectors. You are correct. They are collectors, not hoarders. We like to collect the pretty things. She said, thank you for hosting such a fabulous event, and to all of the AMZ crew for giving us wonderful Advent goodies. She says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and yours and everyone and theirs. Yeah, it's starting to get that little bit closer now to the festive season. I'm going to start getting excited soon. Oh, I'm on a roll with this one. This has got less colours. I've got a feeling we're on a quick whip and waffle today. We shall see. Laura, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves the little gifts in the Advent box. She says this was her first off the canvas project, which would have been day 1. She says, does she seal the bookmark so that it doesn't stick to any pages? She says she's never had big special diamonds anymore. She says, thank you for all that you do for us. I would recommend sealing the bookmark because it is a partial drill, so there are areas where there may be glue and not a diamond. You can get specific sealer for it, or you can just use PVA glue, Elmer's glue I think it's called in some countries. The glue that you used as a child that dries clear, that's white and dries clear, the one that schools use and you can peel off your fingers, just coat it with that. Coat it with a nice thinnish coating of that. It will dry clear, so give it a chance to dry clear. I found it doesn't particularly dull any sparkle. Not enough that it is, you know, any sort of huge disappointment. It does still have a shine to it. Or you can get a, you know, what's classed as probably as a specific sealer that's probably made up of a very, very similar mixture to a PVA glue. And once it dries clear, then it will no longer be sticky. Just do it thin, and concentrate primarily on, you know, the gaps where the glue is, more so than you're trying to get the diamonds, but don't worry if you do get the diamonds. Jan says, hi Rebecca. She says she is so enjoying Advent. She actually thought that the little green container was for trash drills, and she thought maybe I'd accidentally dropped one of the IKEA nuts into the jar. That, to be fair, that is a fair assumption. That very well could have happened, especially if you saw our house the other weekend, and the amount of IKEA parts that were about. I still have quite a few grip seal bags with a set of instructions for a certain type of furniture, and all the bits we didn't use when setting up the shop, because of course sometimes you get bits for 2 different configurations. So it very easily could have happened. I have more Allen keys than I know what to do with right now, but No, they were bought on purpose. She says she loves the cross stitch pattern. She received a little fox and he's so cute. She said she spent many, many years doing counted cross stitch and still have quite a few framed up on her walls. She said the last one she started was after her daughter was born, of a very beautiful and so large horse carousel. She says, well, life got super busy, so she packed it away for a while, and her daughter is now 33. Time flies, doesn't it? She says she only has some back stitching to do around the horses. Oh, so you don't have much either. She says, but she's nervous because she hasn't done it for so long, and her eyesight is not what it used to be. She said, however, you may have just given me the incentive. She needs to finish it. Yes, well, give the little fox a go and see how you enjoy that, because it's amazing how things like cross stitch, especially when you've done it for years, it comes back to you fairly quickly. And if it is just a confidence issue, then doing a small tiny one that has no, years of work behind it, like your carousel one does, may just, one, re-spark your interest in doing a little bit of stitching, and two, give you the confidence that actually, yeah, you do remember what you're doing, and then get your horse one finished. Make it your project for 2024. That's another video I need to mark down. I need to set myself some goals for 2024. I like to set myself goals, challenges, things like that in the new year. I also like to do a rundown of diamond paintings I've done and diamond paintings in my stash and things like that for the new year. So I need to remember to mark those down soon so I don't forget. That bow is so pretty. Right, we've got a little bit of green. We definitely are on a quicker one today. Or at least I am. I think it's because of the amount of bulk colours. Not as much backing and toing as on some others. Grey Legrand, she says, regarding the commenter, she says that has a problem with drills not sliding down the tray. She says she primarily has that issue with round drills from budget companies. She says because the drill sizes vary so much. Yes, I do have more of an issue with round drills from those companies. She says there can be a drill that's larger and doesn't slide down. Yeah, they tend to have, what I find is like a very, very thin coating of plastic sort of underneath them and around them, that almost looks clear, because they can be different sizes as well, like physically different sizes, but a lot of them do have this little thin film of plastic that could be less than a mil around a diamond. And yeah, like when you put it down on the canvas, you can't necessarily see it because it's that thin, but it definitely gets stuck on the trays. But I find they can get stuck in pretty much any tray that I use, apart from maybe the green ones. I think the slats are slightly bigger on those, but it can be hard getting the level right between the two. Sharon says, hi Rebecca, I hope I feel better soon. I do, thank you. She says, you've been so busy with moving everything into your new office, plus videos, WIP and Waffles, etc. She says, please take some you time too. Thank you. I have been doing the last couple of weekends because I haven't had as many videos to do. or at least not the urgency of as many videos to do. I've been able to have what I call a bit more pottering weekends, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I've actually been loving it. So thank you. Yes, I am taking time. I am also trying to be able to take between Christmas and New Year as well. So right, day 9 is done. I'm actually thinking what I might do with this canvas, because I have done one and cut it apart already, I might make this canvas a complete one. And I'm wondering whether to do it, in fact, let's do it as we come across them. So there's me thinking I'm nearly finished, but this is a shorter one today. So let's take a couple more minutes, and I'm just going to do it on this row for now, but the gap is still the same as your regular diamond. It just doesn't have the full-on grid lines the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fill in this gap, and I'm going to make this one a full set. Though actually that makes me wonder now, if I'm putting this down, should I fill it with something else? See, now this is what happens when I do something and then don't think about the full thing before I do it. Okay, we're turning this into a longer WIP and waffle, but that's okay. Where's my tweezers? As I put in this down, like, it matches, of course. Maybe I was better taking this out with my pen. I thought, oh, I'll use the tweezers, it'll be easier. I think these are a little bit bent as well, though. I think I've probably, well, I say me, somebody in my household has probably used these for something they shouldn't. But I don't know whether to go for a grey or for an AB or for a rhinestone. Do I have any square rhinestones? Okay, I've put that away. Let me have a quick look at what I have in square. So I have some glow in the dark. I do have some that's called ice. So these are a few like neon-y ones that I have. I don't think neon's going to suit. I do have glow in the dark, but I'm not sure how much that would work. I do have some that are called ice, which are a bit like white frosted, but I don't know if that would be enough to do them all. That's also glow in the dark. Oh, I do have some square crystals, and I reckon I could find more of them if I needed. Let's do some square crystals. I haven't put crystals on something for a while. And I think this will actually work quite well if anybody who has the round one has today's Advent gift, because the round ones would fit. So it's more subtle than potentially, though an AB would work. I think a white AB would definitely work. This is probably a little bit more visible than an AB, but it has got that sort of grey tone to give a line as well. I think that's working. Let's go for it. I say the reason I'm doing this is because one, it's to give you guys another option, and if you don't like this style, you could potentially fill it in with white. You will have plenty of white left going on going on the kits I did for examples, you will have plenty of white left. I actually have one that still needs dekitting because I forgot about it, and with all the move and everything else, it just became a box with diamonds in it that I actually thought was one of the kids. I thought it was for one of their paintings, and it was only when I was sorting out the craft room and actually really looked at it, I realised that it wasn't one of the kids. It was actually the painting that I did in like June or July as an example, and I just never dekitted it. Right, these diamonds are an extremely snug fit though. Let's see. And then again, I suppose it doesn't hugely matter if I end up, these are rather big, these ones, and I seem to be going outside my line just a little bit each time. But I suppose it doesn't really matter if these follow their own path. They don't like this glue dot though. Okay. There we go. I've made it to the top. Is that one squashed now? It is now. There we go. So I'm deciding I am going to keep a line. So I will do the other sections when I come across one that meets, wherever that may be. So for number 10, hang on, I'm zoomed in. For number 10, for example, tomorrow, we will have a line across the top here. So I will do it bit by bit as I go along when I end up with both sides ready to do. And we will fill in some of the lines on this one. I say yourself, you can chop them like I did originally, or you can keep them as one and you can fill it in with whatever you like. But I think that's probably the best way for me to do it going forward on this one. And then I have an example that is already pre-cut and an example that is full but divided. Okay, little side step there. That did extend the WIP and Waffle for a little bit. Hopefully give people a little bit more of a chance to finish up. But I am now definitely done with today's square or rectangle. So thank you all so much for joining me for today, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.